I need to fire my producer. What is up, WTF Nation listeners and fans? It is the Sports Bar coming to you live November 26th of the year 2023. I got my main man, Coach, with me. Coach, let the people know something. All right. I'm not sure if Coach is off mute. Well,
Oh, my damn,
oh,
my damn,
Coach.
my damn computer is messing up more than anything right now. But what do you hear? What do you say? Let me go ahead and just get the drinking started already because it's going to be that kind of a night dealing with this. Oh yeah, how you doing today, King?
Hey, I am doing all right. We are the Sports Bar here at WTF Nation Radio. I am the actual King Smith. I go by King Smith as King is my government name. Coach is with me, our illustrious Jets fan. We are both U.S
Mm.
military veterans here at WTF Nation Radio, and we are coming at you live with all types of sports edutainment here. Coach, how was your Thanksgiving?
Man, my Thanksgiving wasn't bad at all, man. It was actually, kids came home and everybody was here for Thanksgiving night, and then, watched some. I would say at least decent football. I mean, you knew Dallas was going to win, or you knew that Detroit was going to lose because they always lose. You knew that Dallas was going to win, and it was going to be a little bit of a blowout, and it was. But decent football, and then you had the Black Friday game, and yeah, the freaking fail Mary, and the New York Jets lose in the most New York fucking Jets way possible. So yeah, I'm just not going to get started with everything and dealing with that. Oh dear God.
Well, coach, what you
Anyway.
don't know is that I actually
Well,
have
yeah,
footage
freaking
of you.
it's better. It's bad enough that even the Iron Bowl was going on this week. Even the Iron Bowl going on this week, and freaking rooting for Auburn, War Eagle, and everything. And no, Alabama's got to win that damn game. Ugh.
We are going to talk about that a little bit later on today. But coach, I have footage of you snapping at your Jets, and it is the most hilarious thing because I know it's not you, but it could have damn well been you. We do have actually an instant update out of the 4 o'clock games that just ended today in overtime. The Philadelphia Eagles looks like they won against the Buffalo Bills by 3 points. Yep, that is a final. We have a final in that game. That game was a shootout, much like one of the earlier games. Well, I wouldn't call one of the earlier games a shootout, but it was definitely an exciting game in the Jaguars versus the Texans. And sitting up top of the AFC is what team again? The Jacksonville Jaguars. That's crazy when you think about it. All right. Coach has to restart his computer, people. So while he do that, we are going to go into a video clip that I found hilarious. And I'm going to ask y'all, the viewers, what is your body worth? Is your body worth 500,000 or the potential to win 500,000? I'm going to serve up a video that shows a man who did just that. He went out at a Lakers game and had the opportunity to make 500,000 if he made a half court shot. Now, something that y'all need to know is that over the age of, I'll probably say 34, 35, if you don't warm up as a person, you are likely somebody that's going to injure something. So let's take a look at what happened during this Lakers halftime show in which this guy had an opportunity to make 500,000 on a halftime shot.
Oh, you had the distance. You had the distance, Anthony.
Oh,
Let's get you up, Anthony. You didn't get it from half court, but we're going to give you a chance to shoot it from the 3-point line.
He's done.
Everybody, put your hands together one more time for Anthony. We're not going to have
That announcer was so clueless. Hold on. Let's run that back. Hey, look at the push off.
Oh!
There are certain things that you just cannot do over the age of 34, and pushing off on your Achilles is one of them. There are pro athletes that are finding this out, especially when it comes to pro athletes on certain fields or turf. This is the same thing that happened to Jalen Phillips in the Miami Dolphins New York Jets game. All right. So let's take a look at this here, and I'll show y'all what it is that I'm talking about here. All right. Here we have Jalen Phillips looking like he's about to take off and just jacked up his ankle. And then watch it right here on that push off. See how his heel is flat? I'm sorry, the right one. And then you can see it snap. It is the ugliest thing ever. I need to actually do this because my private conversations are showing. And see if I can download the video or watch it a different way. No, I cannot. Well, it is what it is. But hey, to this guy who possibly tore his Achilles or whatever it was, you gotta warm up, bruh. You gotta warm up. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in early while Coach fixes his computer. Let's take a look at who's popped in. We got God Happen to Me, aka my boo thing, over on YouTube and Facebook that said good evening. Good evening to you as well. Let's see. She said Coach's computer is messing up more than the Eagles game. Eagles at home right now, but the Eagles won, and it looks like Coach is back. So let's see if we could bring him back in. All right, and
And then I
Coach.
said to her, if I knew it was going to be that kind of party, I would have stuck my dick in the mashed potatoes. Oh, am I back? Oh, damn.
Hold on. Let's give Coach the buzzer. Oh man. Hey, Coach, you got some love in the chat. Michael Carasquillo, Mr. Pop Culture Warrior himself said, how about them G-men?
Yeah. Tommy DeVito is still is still living at his house, still having his mother make his bed and cook him dinner every night. And he's got more passing touchdowns in 5 NFL games than Zach Wilson does this entire season.
Hey,
Fucking
Coach,
Tommy DeVito. We got a good
there's
fella on the Giants. Go freaking figure. He's gonna bring him back, and if not, he's gonna bury him in the Meadowlands parking lot.
now, Coach and I do have a little bit of a delay, but Coach, I have actual footage that somebody sent of you snapping. And the funny part about this is that it is not actually you, but man, hey, y'all that are listening, y'all tell me, is this Coach doing a rant right
Oh
here?
dear God.
Take a listen.
The Black Friday Hail Mary sent from hell. New York Jets, what the fuck are we doing? 2 seconds on the clock. Tua just threw 2 interceptions. Take the momentum into the locker room. I think Robert Saleh is still drunk from Thanksgiving last night. He thought Aaron Rodgers was throwing it. And now it's basically a punt into a Fortnite 1v4. And it's all Lyman. And Mr. Holland squad wipes them. If you had Jets spread, first half, the TV's out the window. Happy Black Friday. It's time to order a new one. Why? This is how I'll remember the Jets. Forever. The Black Friday 99-yard Hail Mary turned into a pick six. The most Jets thing of all time.
Coach, that was sent to me, and I was like, oh my goodness. If that ain't Coach, I don't know what is. Coach, was that you in that? That sounded like it, brother.
So the week before, seeing that we took the week off and we had the Bills game the week before, and on the opening kick, Gibson fumbles the damn thing, and Bills recover and they kick a field goal, and the game's never the fucking same. I thought that was the most Jet thing I had ever seen. I had seen Mark Sanchez run face first into his linesman's ass. and cause a fumble, return for a touchdown on Thanksgiving night at MetLife Stadium. Okay? I have seen Dan Marino fake a fucking spike, caught the entire team off guard, throw a touchdown pass, and win the damn game. I have fucking witnessed a handoff that went 90 yards for a touchdown on the first fucking play, on a running play in the first game of the fucking season. I've seen as many Jet things happen in my fucking life to realize that there's nothing else that can stop the butt fumble. And this doesn't top the butt fumble.
Mm-hmm.
But the Fail Mary now has its own lexicon. The Fail Mary. You throw a Hail Mary at the end of the half, and I like it, okay? Maybe it could have gone a little bit better on the play calling, but hey, keep the momentum going. Go for it. Try to put it in there. But come on. Fucking returned 99 yards for a touchdown. At that point in time, I'm thanking God my wife was asleep, because I went outside. I dug up my Thanksgiving stash, the stuff that you celebrate with. I took several of that. I pulled down my pants, urinated in my backyard, took my dog out, urinated again in my backyard, and realized that as a Jets fan, I am forever cursed by the team doing the dumbest fucking things on the face of the earth. So if I got caught pissing in my backyard with my pants down with my dog, the only explanation I would need to be was, I'm a Jet fan. And everybody would automatically understand that I'm fucking stupid. Just like the New York fucking Jets.
All right. Now, we do
Was I
have
mad? I was that mad. I was that mad yesterday. Oh, Friday. Oh my God. And I hate the fact that Amazon has like hyped this up, that this new Black Friday game is going to be a new freaking ritual and a new tradition. Yeah. So instead of us going ahead and beating the shit out of each other for an $8 Barbie to give to some second cousin who's going to rip the head off and then play with the naked body for the next 20 years while finding out what the clitoris is, regardless of what's going to happen with that $8 toy, you want us to take away and watch a football game with the New York fucking Jets, the offense that is the most unwatchable thing since Two Girls, One Cup. You want to show that on Black Friday and start a tradition? No, Amazon. No. Please do not put anybody, especially Americans, on Black Friday, the most sacred of the American holidays, to torture by showing us the Jets ever again.
Now, I know that with this Sunday night football game that's coming up, that I'm not even going to go to our next thing yet because we have to get through Carrie Underwood's legs. But until that
My
comes up on the
computer
screen, we have
restart screwed that up. I don't have it up right now.
oh wow, all right. Well, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Los Angeles Chargers. The Ravens are 8-3. The Chargers are 4-6. Vegas has Baltimore favored to win by 3 in a total of 49.5. It is going to be a nice 64-degree sky, although it's not going to matter because SoFi Stadium has a dome. Susan Brandstetter came in and said, "Go Falcons." That is all. Susan,
Ugh.
me and you might have been Falcons fans at one point in my life. But after that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, I had to renounce my Falcondom. I was a lifelong Falcons fan growing up in Alabama, Roll Tide. And when they lost that Super Bowl to the New England Patriots, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. And I know with my luck, the Falcons probably within the next, let's say 6 years, could actually get their first Super Bowl. And then I'm going to be sitting over here looking stupid because I could have at least been a fan of a team that won the Super Bowl while I was a fan. But you know what? Such is my life. At least I do support the Alabama Crimson Tide, and it is what it is. Now, Coach said that he's going to step away and come back as there seems to be a bad delay. I don't know if it's on his end or on my end. That's why we kind of overstep each other a little bit. But he's back now. All right, Coach. 1, 2, 3. Can you
4,
hear me?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I think we're good.
All right, well, are we better now, man? Because there was a bad delay that was coming through out there. I was showing it I was hearing it on the live stream.
Okay, yes, and God happened to me said that there was a major delay as well.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. My boo thing coming through with the technical update.
Yes, absolutely.
All
That's
right,
what I,
great.
that's what I think. That's and I think it had to do with what I was doing earlier, what I was telling you about having all those windows open.
Mhm.
I think that's what was screwing the thing up, man.
Yeah, you got to have a powerful computer. I had to learn that as well. My computer now that I kind
Yeah.
of understood it. I know how to get it set up to where it shouldn't have any technical issues. Now, so that we say it before the game gets kicked off, who you got for the Sunday night game? Baltimore or the Chargers?
You know, Baltimore wins this. They'll be 9-4 going into their bye week. Am I correct on that? I believe their bye week is next
Let's take a
week.
look.
Yeah, I believe they're what 9-3. They're 8-3 right now, right?
Yep, and they
Yeah,
do
so
have
they'll
their bye
be
week. Their next game is an away game.
yeah. So looking at going in 9-3 into the bye week, they'll outright the AFC, which as of right now, Jacksonville actually is ahead. Has the number one seed. Do I think right now Chargers are not on their way back up? Justin Herbert has not been the same quarterback that he has been the past couple of seasons. I see Lamar Jackson pulling it off. We're going to have they're going to go into their bye week as the number one team in the AFC. So Baltimore tonight, as much as I hate Baltimore.
All right. Hey, I thought Susan and I were going to be getting along. Susan, she says that I'm a loyal Atlantan. So, okay. Hey, you know what? I respect that. I respect the fact that unlike me, you decided to stick with your team. But then you come down here and you say also War Eagle for
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell
oh,
yeah! Yeah, Susan. Yeah. All right, Susan. Yeah, yeah,
nah,
yeah.
we ain't doing that.
Oh, Susan, Susan. Yeah,
No,
hell's
no,
yes.
no.
War Eagle.
Hey, as a matter of fact, I was gonna get into it a little bit later on, but Susan, I got something for you. 1 second while I bring this up here. I have a little bit of a
Susan, I got something for you too. You are now officially the fan of the day, the fan of the show. I am deeming it is now closed. Michelle can't do anything to do this. You are officially the show's fan of the day.
mm, so let me remind Susan of this right here. Yes. Yes. Oh,
Uh,
I love it. Hey Susan, now I
hey,
appreciate you
hey,
popping in.
Susan, I do want to go ahead and get you a good joke out of here if you're still up here. But I'm going to give you this good joke. Just remember that the shortest sentence in the American language is I am. Some people say that the longest sentence in the American language is I do. But everybody agrees that the dumbest sentence in the American language is roll tide.
Coach has to remind us of that one. And Susan, I
Yes,
appreciate you popping
yes.
in. Thank you very much. Said even though I was actually a UAH student, I was accepted by Auburn. That's what's up. That's what's up. I grew up closer to Auburn than I did to the University of Alabama, but I was a huge fan of Sean Alexander, the running back in the late
Oh,
90s.
he was good.
So
He was good.
that's what started my Bama fandom. I had a chance to meet him, and he's not going to remember this in all of his interactions with fans and stuff. But there's video of me when I was going in for a picture. There was video from an old camcorder where him and I accidentally butted heads. Now, if y'all see me in real life, I got a dome. I got a huge ass head. So the fact that there's footage of me accidentally hitting Sean Alexander in the head as I was going in for a photo is probably one of the most embarrassing things for me if that ever got leaked. Because my friends would be like, they're glad that I didn't give him a concussion or anything like that with his big ass dome. But that's what started my fandom for Alabama, and it's been that way ever since.
Sean Alexander, that one time the record holder for most touchdowns in an NFL season.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
Now, you know what? Let's acknowledge Captain Wayne Baconator Adjutant in the building. His Chiefs pulled off a victory. He said, Chiefs. And then he followed that up with, we barbecued those blind pirates. At one point, Captain Wayne Baconator Adjutant, it didn't look good. It was 14-0, and I was over here scratching my head like, could they pull this off? Now, I did a 17 parlay, and that one was one of the ones that had me worried. But let me go in here and see what happened to my parlay real quick. While Coach tells everybody about the other shows that we have here at
Oh,
WTF Nation Radio.
oh, good. You saved that for me. I go through all the technical trouble, and then you save my favorite part of the show for me, which is letting everybody know that we come to you live 6 nights a week on WTF Nation Radio and U.S Army W.T.F moments across Facebook, YouTube, Kick, and Twitter. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely disgusting. I apologize that you had to hear that, much as I apologize that you have to hear us every Sunday on the Sports Bar, beginning at 8 p.m., which all other shows on our channels go ahead and begin at. And that starts over on Monday night with the Monday edition, Ice and Mad Mike, and gosh, I can't remember who the heck else is on there. But we got a new host on there talking to you all on Monday at 8 p.m. about everything that's happening in the military and what's going on within the veteran world. As well, going on Tuesday, Pop Culture Radio with our boy CQ and either Angry Elf or Mad Mike. Either one of them are going to be there. Don't know which one, but we'll have all the shows and all the hosts basically by the name of Mike. So we got the mics going up on Tuesday on Pop Culture Radio Warrior, and on Wednesday we have the Smoke Pit with our friends TZ and Radar, bringing you all the BS, talking about what is ever is on their mind and interacting with you. Going rolling into Thursday on Sergeant's Time with Ice, letting you know the latest and greatest of what's happening around the military and the veteran community, and finding out what is happening with all the mold. Hey, the Mold Center of Excellence does have its annual or is monthly meeting every Thursday, or weekly meeting every Thursday on Sergeant's Time. Man, I get paid this week. Last Friday, you heard them on Friday Night Freedom, and they were great. Kaz and Pookie are back together. Not this week, but in 2 weeks for Friday Night Freedom, wrapping up all of the news from the remaining shows for the week, and then we kick back up here with us on the Sports Bar, which we're going to be running all the way up until what, December 17th or something like that, I
Yep,
think.
yep. And then we're gonna have
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's off.
Yeah, yeah. I did put that little thing in the little bug in everybody's ears. So maybe December 17th is the last show of the year. We do the WTF Nation Radio Christmas party as our last show of the year.
Yes.
Kind of kick out the holiday season with us, our last show of the year. We bring everybody on, we all bullshit together. Screw it. We even let Ice produce the daggone thing and try to keep all of us together on all the cameras and the bubbles and everything like that. Or maybe that looks like something CQ could do.
I'd be down for sure if we happen to have it, man. Let me
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's get every host on WTF Nation Radio to get on for that day. I think it would be a great idea.
So while you were doing, I was trying to see if I find my login information to FanDuel Sportsbook. Man, I did a 8-leg parlay, and I'm just gonna have to read it off here. I would have loved to have had the graphical version of this, but I did an 8-leg parlay in which I picked which team was basically going to win, and the team that screwed me over, and I should have known better, but it helped make the odds a little bit more favorable for me was the Cleveland Browns losing to the Denver Broncos. I chose the Browns to win that game, but the Broncos have been coming in with some momentum. But if I would have left that leg off, I still would have had a plus 3,000 leg that, as of right now, could have paid off. I picked Philly to win over Buffalo. I nailed that one. I picked the Chiefs to win over the Raiders, nailed that one. The Rams over Cardinals. Giants over Patriots, which I wasn't sure about, but thank goodness that worked out. And I picked the Falcons over the Saints, which was a minus 1,000. I had Ravens over the Chargers and Vikings over the Bears. Now, if I would have kept that at a 7-leg parlay, my $40 bet could have won me just under 3,000. But
Oh,
with the Browns fucking it up for me, uh, it is not to pass. I only could have been think about what that could have been had Cleveland actually covered. And it's my own fault too. I actually looked at that and I was just trying to be against the grain on one um just to bump up my payout like $400. But if I would have gone with the right one with that one, yeah, I could have covered and made some money. So you know what? I am no longer a fan of Cleveland because they don't know how to do anything right up there.
Cleveland's had a couple bad breaks. I think that the injury to Deshaun Watson has truly messed up their season, but they've had a very scrappy and respectable season this year. I just think, unfortunately, nothing's going to be their fault. I will bet against them from now on for the remainder of the season, much in the same way as I would bet against the Jets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? It's hard being a fan of a team and then betting against them. But if you know that the odds are in your favor, go make that money.
Like I will bet against the Jets for the rest of the year, with the exception of the last game of the season. Okay, think about this for a minute. Okay,
Hmm.
all right, and this is something that is the honest to God's truth. It really could happen. Week 18 or 17 or whatever the hell it is, the last week 18. The Jets play New England, right? At that point, Aaron Rodgers could be back playing, and the Jets could be losing. So they could be what 4-12 at that point, and they're probably going to play a 3-13 New England Patriots, right?
Okay.
Now, knowing that if the Jets lose, New England will get 4, and no matter what, the Jets will have to pick before them because 2 of the wins that New England has would be against the Jets, right? First tiebreaker.
Okay.
But knowing how the fucking Jets are, they're going to win week 18 with Aaron Rodgers against the New England Patriots. And then they're going to get screwed over, probably by about 2 or 3 draft positions. And the person who the Jets are supposed to really want to pick gets picked by the fucking Patriots.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
that's the fucking future of the Jets. Okay, let's be
Would
honest.
that then be the most Jet thing ever?
No, it's still not the most Jet thing ever. The most Jet thing ever was happened in 2000, and nobody remembers this. That's the sad part. I remember this because it's still painful to me. right at the end of the 2000 year, Bill Parcells, he knew he was kind of done coaching this team because he made some bad decisions. He went with Rick Meyer and didn't go with Ray Lucas. He knew that was a mistake, not a problem. But then they evened it out, and he knew that he had lost his way. So he was going to give, and he was going to retire, stay on as the GM and the president, and give the freaking New York Jets head coaching job to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's announced as the fucking head coach of the Jets, but at the press conference, as he's being introduced, on a piece of paper, he writes down, "I resign," as he's being introduced as the fucking head coach. Now, fast forward a couple months, where the fuck does he go? Oh, he goes to New England. All right? Now, you'd think him going to New England would be the start of it. No. Who's the reason why Tom Brady got put into the game? This is the most Jet thing ever. It starts off with Belichick, but then it goes right into Mo Lewis injuring Drew Bledsoe, so that fucking Bill Belichick has to put Tom Brady in. The fucking third string quarterback. And then what happens? Oh, yeah. Fucking 22 years later, Giselle Bundchen's ass, people trying to steal his sperm and his shit and everything like that, for fuck's sake. That's the most Jet thing ever. That's the most Jet thing ever. We injured a Pro Bowl quarterback to kickstart a fucking greatest of all time quarterback's career.
Have you ever checked out?
That's the most.
Have you ever checked out?
And it all starts with Bill Belichick.
Have you ever checked out the New York Jets Reddit?
Oh, every fucking day.
There's I'm looking at it right now. There's the most Jets thing ever thread, and that is hilarious.
Yeah. Most Jet thing ever.
There's one.
The Patriots got a coach for 25 years, and there's been like 12 coaches for the fucking Jets in that time period.
There's one thing that says the Jets have ruined football for me.
Oh, not only have they ruined football, every year they do this. Every year. That's why I said no more. That's why I said no more, and I cursed them off. And then the 3-game winning streak happens. And then you have a little bit of fucking hope. But then 4 games that they have to be on national TV because when the fucking schedules came out, Aaron Rodgers was going to be on him. He's a goddamn TV hog. So you got to get him on. I'm kind of stuck watching football and knowing by default that the Jets are going to fucking be on. So now all of America know how bad Zach Wilson is. And now all of America knows how big of a retard. You know what? I'm sorry. I cannot use that term. I am so sorry about that.
Get us canceled, coach.
Yeah, I almost got everybody canceled, okay? But how big of a fucking moron Robert Saleh is. Damn.
Hey, do you remember your hot take on Mike White?
Yes. Yes, they should have kept him. But no. He goes to Miami, who's going to end up having one of the 8-3 records that ties them with Jacksonville and Baltimore and the Chiefs with the best records in the AFC.
Hey, I saw this. This is hilarious. Mike White was subbed in to take the final kneel down against his former team, and it was the only snap. His only snap of the game. Yep. Y'all had a glimpse of who y'all could have had for one.
Yep. And it was ridiculous. Everybody last year thought the same exact thing. Why are we getting rid of Mike White? Why are we getting rid of him? No, nobody wanted to get rid of him. But they wanted to keep Zach Wilson because he was the number 2 pick in the draft, and they didn't want to give up hope on him. They never envisioned how anything was going to happen after if Aaron Rodgers would have gotten injured. I mean, for crying out loud. Yeah. And you know what? All right. This does bring something up, though. Okay.
All right.
This brings up about an all or nothing approach, and you can kind of think about this in the same sense that happened with Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Okay, so Colts are, they went to the Super Bowl, they got to the playoffs, and then Peyton Manning has the disc issue, right? You would think that with all those years with Peyton Manning or with such a great quarterback like Peyton Manning, that the backup would actually be good. But let's remember that the year that Peyton Manning got injured, they sucked so bad that they ended up getting the number one pick in the draft and having to release Peyton Manning after they got Drew Luck. So it's not unprecedented that a team would have a backup quarterback plan for somebody that old or somebody of that prestige. It you had a little bit of it, so it was a little bit more system wide, not player wise, when it came down to like Tom Brady being out up in his time period, because the people who replaced Brady when he was either suspended or when he ruptured his Achilles in 2008, they never had great careers afterwards, right?
Mhm.
Garoppolo and Castle, I think, was the other one but neither one of them did. So to blame everything on these backup quarterbacks and all this other shit, like the Jets have, there's really no justification, because really the Jets were all set up to run underneath Aaron Rodgers. Nobody ever envisions it, and everybody is always fucked, no matter what happens after, or if the quarterback gets out. There's been very rare moments where a Tom Brady has ever come out of it. Am I right? We know that Brady story because Brady just comes out of nowhere. Same thing like Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner just comes out of nowhere. But very rarely does, when a superstar quarterback go down, that their replacement's ever going to be anything good. And the team's not going to suck. And history has shown that the team is going to suck when a superstar quarterback goes down.
Yep. Now, Captain Wayne Bacon has said, "I swear, I'm sick of hearing about Rogers, Manning, and all of that ancient stuff." Speaking of Brady, did you hear, Coach, what Tom Brady said about mediocrity in the NFL?
I did. I did. And I understand what he's talking about when it comes down to the mediocrity, because when he was still playing and even towards the tail end of his career, there were a lot of people putting up bigger numbers. But there also was not as much parity as there is right now. And when you look at the NFL, even going down to the bottom dwellers, there's maybe one or two elite record teams, one terrible record team, one elite record team, and that's Carolina and Philly. And then you have the next tiers up, which are like the 2-win teams and the 8 or 8-win teams, which you have a massive amount of. And then you've got everybody who are just within one or two games of each other. And there is a lot of parity with a bunch of close games out here. There's not a lot of action going on back and forth, but there's a lot of competitiveness when it comes down to the game. So really, excitement wise, there isn't as much excitement with the plays, but there's more excitement with the tension and the drama of each of these games.
All right. Now, let's see. What are we going to have up here next? Let's do our sports trivia for today, and then we're going to go into our next video. For the sports trivia for today, we're going to cover golf. All right. Now, I've tried my hand at golf. I've took a golf clinic, and I don't like the mechanics. It's something about the rotation and how you have to swing that just doesn't align with the way that I can play sports. Can you play golf?
It takes a while. I used to play golf. My golf clubs are over in my mother-in-law's house about 3 hours away. I haven't played in a long time. It's just I haven't had enough time to actually do it, and until I can find a way to include it in my work or something like that, I don't think I'll be able to for a while.
All right.
But I will say I could still hit it straight. I just can't hit it as powerful anymore, but I can hit it straighter than I used to.
Man, if I can hit the golf ball off the darn peg or whatever it's called, that's a good day for me. I went and did top golf.
The T, brother.
And
The
yeah,
T.
the tee, thank you. And that's the extent of my golfing right there is top golf. But
Top golf. Oh
yeah,
God. I've been there 4 times this year.
yep, yep. Now for professionals, you would expect on a par four, if you're going to be over, maybe only be over by about 3 or 4 hits. So for those of y'all that don't understand golf, par four is like the course is does like that particular hole is designed that you should make it from the tee to the hole in 4 hits or 4 strokes, I guess is what they call it in golf, which is also coincidentally how many times you know what? I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. This is a PG-13 show.
It's taken 4 shots for him to get to the delivery of this question.
Now, the trivia question is this: what is the most strokes on a par four during a PGA tour? I will repeat the question, but I won't put the timer up. We'll just kind of wait for about 15 seconds or so. What is the most strokes ever on a par four during a PGA tour? Now, I know that there's a bit of a delay, so I'm going to give people in the chat time to put in what they think the answer is as well. Coach is giving me his answer in the back room, and we're going to see if anybody else has a guess before we put the response up. But while we wait to see if people have a response, yeah, coach, man, I tried myself at a golfing clinic and it was one that was really good. It was one for veterans. I forget the exact name of
Yeah.
it, but if you finished it, then you were able to get a set of personalized golf clubs as well.
That sounds like fairways for
Mm,
warriors. It may be that. It may also be PGA Hope, which is another good one that they had that I've partnered with before. But that sounds like Fairways for Warriors. And then there's another one that I also oh God, I can't remember the other one that I partner with, but yeah, that does sound like something like them that they would do like that. They would get you a customized set of clubs, which getting a customized set of clubs is actually good because buying the stuff right off of the shelf,
mm.
you don't get the shaft or the facing lined up directly to fit you. This will line you up to fit your level of bending as far as the mobility you want for your shaft, as well as the flexibility for your shaft based off of your swing and the total height of your swing instead of just based off of a regular size. So it's pretty cool.
Yep, yep. And for the people that did get into it more than I did, they said that it was definitely nice. So shout out to those nonprofits out there that support veterans that want to get into golfing. But the answer to the sports trivia question, Coach had it right in the back chat, and it was
Holy
Nah.
shit!
Kevin Na took 16 shots on the ninth hole at a PGA tour in Texas, I believe, to be in the record books for the most strokes ever on a par four during a PGA tour.
Wow,
That is
wow, that was I originally had down 22, but then thought that that's my normal score. So on a par four, so let's get something outrageous that would be there. So I originally had that, but then I thought maybe a 16. I was gonna say that because that on a pro tour is kind of unheard of. How the hell did he shoot a 16, man? What's the story behind it?
that's ridiculous. I don't know the story. I just saw that one as an interesting
Wow.
sports fact and was like, there is no way. Like, I don't know a lot about golf, but I do know that there's no way that a pro should be at 16 on a par four. Shouldn't happen.
No, no. I mean, unless he wanted to be difficult and take several two-shot penalties for a drop somewhere just to try to hit a shot or something.
Yep.
But damn, that sucks.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Now, let's get into some NCAA news, man. We had rivalry week this past week here, and man, some of the games were came down to the wire. One of those that we talked about already, in which Alabama took on what was a 6-5 at the time, now 6-6 Auburn team. And let me just say, I had already, when they had that bad snap on third down and it went back far, I had already put my phone on do not disturb because let me just be honest, I had no faith that when they threw that Hail Mary on 4th and 31, that they were going to get it. I'm just going to say that very publicly. I had zero faith. All right. So this is what this looked like. I'm going to have to play it on mute because of the music. But let's take a look at what this looked like right here. 4th and 31. All right. Jalen Miro takes the snap.
There were several voices of phone calls to the police department of pickup trucks that all of a sudden started hopping up and down in the back of it between brothers and sisters because they were so excited.
I mean, what they play. CBS, fair use. Actually, I have to take this off before CBS Zuckers. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was that.
No, I saw that one on highlight. I didn't catch it live. By that time, I was already actually I was already out with my family at that point, watching doing some Christmas light stuff. So, yeah, sorry, man, I didn't catch that one live, but yeah, what a phenomenal play. These daggone rivalry games always bring out these unbelievable plays, and that was no exception to the rule out there.
Yeah,
That's why
it's
these
insane.
that's why college football is the way that it is. You'll see these plays on an annual basis. They become so routine that it just becomes lore in another lexicon of great rivalries that continue on for generations and generations to come.
Yep. Now, people can say that I pretty much always say every year, it doesn't matter what each team's record is going into a rivalry week. Something about that particular game, most of the times in college, it's an in-state game. You got your Oregon versus Oregon State, Texas versus Texas Tech, Iowa, Nebraska, TCU, Oklahoma. Those games like that, it creates a different element to it. It seems like the players, like it matters because it gives them bragging rights. They get to go back, go to the mall, because that's what 18 to 20-year-olds do. They go to the mall or wherever it is that they go to these parties or whatnot and brag
Man,
about
you
how,
are out of touch if you're thinking they're going to a mall. Nobody goes to a mall anymore.
yeah, you might be right. You might but they're, going to the parties or whatever, bragging about, how they own that year. They own that year. Like that's one of the things when they go into the barbershops or wherever that they're going to talk about. Georgia Tech almost, almost pulled one off. I mean,
Almost.
it looked good going into halftime. It was like this is actually a close game. It looked like in the third quarter Georgia might pull it off. And they kept Georgia scoreless in that fourth frame. There just wasn't enough time, but momentum almost seemed like it was going to shift towards Georgia Tech's way if they had a little bit more time.
It did, but you know what? When a championship team, caliber team gets onto it and tries to play serious, they go ahead and have that extra little oomph that just makes sure that they can handle the opponents with ease. And Georgia proved it again. That's why they're still number one in the nation. That's why that's looking like when they go into the SEC championship game, they'll be odds on to win that. And then it's up to them to definitely be number one in the playoffs. And oh yeah, we're going to have a shakeup coming up here on Tuesday when they're coming out, or Monday when they come out.
Yeah, you know what? I plan on talking about that one in a minute, but before we do,
Yeah, let's do that.
are
Yeah.
you surprised that Michigan, with them not having their head coach, the sign stealing scandal that went down, losing two assistant coaches, are you surprised that they pulled out the win against the Suckeyes?
No, I'm not surprised. Reason why I say I'm not surprised is because I thought that this year was Michigan. Something with Harbaugh for the past several years. They've 3 years now. They've beaten Ohio State. They've been the Big Ten champs. I think that somehow that this year was going to be the year that it's not going to be. It's Harbaugh is finally going to get the monkey off of his back, and that's what I'm waiting on. So, I think that that's what we're going to end up seeing during the year, and it's happening the way that I thought it would be. It's just going to be let's see what are the other teams outside of the Big Ten going to do to Michigan, and that's what I'm interested in seeing.
Man, so the coach for Michigan, I was taking a look at the salary. He has a base salary of about 1.15 million. Do you
Yeah,
guess what uh Coach Harbaugh's salary is?
I want to say Harbaugh is close to 12 to 15 mil,
According to two different sources,
somewhere in there, 12 to 15.
he's around 7 million.
7.
Yep.
Okay. I thought it might have been a little bit more.
And I'm like, is the success of the team due to what Harbaugh's put in place? Or do they just have the athletes there that can, carry, and it doesn't matter that their head coach wasn't on the field for the last 3 games?
I think that part's true. I think that they had enough talent that with how much talent that they had surrounding that entire organization with what they've built up, I do believe that regardless of who was going to be out there, they would have ended up winning, being successful. Even the coaching staff out there at Michigan's, real damn good. So, yeah, that's what I say on that one.
Coach Harbaugh came out today and said, and I'm quoting, "For the players to be compensated, I'm using my voice, and I would take less money for the players to have a share. I hope other coaches would use their voice to express the same thing." I think Coach Harbaugh is going for broke. He said, "You know what? Y'all want to accuse my team in this of XYZ? I'm just gonna throw all of this out there." What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of funny seeing Jim Harbaugh lifting up the national championship trophy at the end of this season, and it's going to end up happening because that's the way these things end up playing out. Just like Atlanta did several years ago. But like I said, I think now that they've shut him up and Ohio State is gone, their big question mark is out. Do they have enough to beat Georgia? That's the next question.
Hmm.
Georgia has got the pedigree. They're on the undefeated streak right now. They're going to be difficult. I don't know if Harbaugh is going to have to scheme up, but he's going to have to do something because last year was definitely not their year for against Georgia. So let's see if Harbaugh is worth that $7 million. But good luck on them because they're going to be, even though the Big Ten doesn't have a championship game, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So Big Ten champions, undefeated. Yeah, they've already catched in.
Wait.
Let's see what they do against Georgia.
Let me walk that back a bit because
Oh, okay.
I want to say actually they do. Y'all in the chat, y'all let me know. Do they have a conference game going into the following week?
I know they used to not have one,
Because of the
but it's
changes,
been
they do. They
used.
play against Iowa, the number 17th
Okay.
ranked team. So, yep,
All right.
yep, yep.
See, and to be honest with you, I really don't even give a crap about that because I'm dealing with the ACC championship game with my work. So I'm more in tune with that one.
Screw what you're talking about because I need for Iowa and that phenomenal defense, which no defense over there. I think Iowa, look, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I think Iowa has a chance to beat Michigan next week.
Mm, yeah, And this, hey, look, freaking Auburn nearly beat Bama. So strange things happen in championship games. Do I foresee it happening? Nah, me, I don't think it'll happen.
All right.
But
Let's
hey, we can.
let me roll up my sleeves. Let's play the if game. If Oregon beats Washington this Friday, all right, and Oklahoma State beats the number 7 Texas team, and Iowa beats Michigan, and Louisville beats Florida State, and Alabama beats Georgia, should Alabama move into that playoff spot? That's a lot of ifs. I just threw like 6 things out there. Is it possible? Should Do they deserve it if all of that happened?
If all of that happens, we deserve to, get to all win the lottery. If all of that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus freaking Christ.
Yeah.
I can't believe I am entertaining this. Would them happen? Would Alabama be invited to the college playoffs? No.
They should. They should. Roll Tide.
No. 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 Zach Wilson has a better chance of winning the NFL's passing title than that of ever happening in the first place. So, but that'll no, no. I'm just not going to entertain that one. I'm not. That's fandom right there talking. That's not logic.
Uh,
I know this trap,
I could hope.
and I'm not going to fall for it. That's bait. You remember that meme that used to go around with the dude from the Mad Max movie? That's bait. Yeah, that's what this conversation is right now. It's bait. Jesus Christmas, roll tide. I can't believe the fucking can't. You're worse than Dallas fans.
Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffalo finished as a 4-win team. They end up going 4-9, 1-8 in the Pac-12. After a season that started out with high hopes, they lost to teams that some of those games they should have won, but overall had a losing record against teams that had winning records essentially. And they already have a casualty as their tight ends coach Tim Brewster has resigned, okay? And he joined the staff last year, so this was his first year. He was a veteran coach that brought more than 3 decades of coaching experience to his credit. And prior to joining prime staff at Jackson State, he was an assistant coach and a tight ends coach at North Carolina during the 2019 season. So we already see some turnover here from the Colorado Buffaloes. Do you think that there's going to be more turnover to create um a better staff for this Colorado Buffaloes team?
I don't know about a better staff. I think there's going to be a staff that are going to want to play for Coach Prime, but I think that there's going to be some player turnover during this year,
Mhm.
and that's where I think we're going to have an issue with Colorado this upcoming transfer portal, with the way that Coach Prime is championed and utilized that transfer portal to get people playing. There's going to be a entire shift of personnel. That's what I foresee,
Is the shift of personnel
and
going to be
that's going to
positive
be
or
them.
negative for the following season?
That hmm, that's interesting.
Because I'll tell you my
That's
take.
interesting because go ahead, buddy.
So my take is this. I think it's difficult when you're looking at a team where some of the players, like his sons, right, they come from the wealth of their father and the name and everything that's behind it, where they've got their Rolex watches and their $100,000 cars. And also they had a season in which they didn't win games. It's a different story if they're winning games and certain players that have the wealth are being flashy. But if I'm looking over to my left and to my right and I'm in the workout with a player that is flaunting all of his status and stuff, and when he loses goes, check the watch, I'm still rich, right? How can that motivate me to go to bat for you, to play hard for you and this team, when for you it's not going to matter whether you get to the league or not? You're already wealthy in a sense, right? Eh, I
Okay.
can't see players, if they're going to want to come and play, they're going to want to come and play for Coach Prime. But outside of that, if they're not winning, the dissension's going to be there to where they can't keep a good core of talent to play for people that's going to
Uh-huh.
flaunt their wealth, and that's what's going to hurt them. And not, if they can't figure that out, they're not going to have an over 500 season in the Pac-12 for at least 4 or 5 years.
All right, I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, I will also say that I think that every year now with this transfer portal, there is a opportunity to have an entirely, well, I will say a new locker room, and have that locker room turnover so that those types of people that were in the locker room are no longer
Hmm.
there. You see what I'm getting at?
Hmm.
There's that ability to do that now a lot quicker than it is in the old time, where you have those people like, let's just say the U. You had to cultivate years and years of people being, enacting the way that they did over at the U and playing that way. But now with this transfer portal, you can have that team one year be that way, but then, several years, a year and a half later, they're a completely different team due to new transfer and new personnel being in there. So yes, that can be. You have to utilize the transfer portal properly and not just doing it as an NIL deal, which is what Dion has listed, which has Dion has excelled at. So yes, it can be done, but it has to be done the right way.
What do you think Coach Prime's like pitch is going to be? Like, it's going to be, come here to, further your education? Is he going to lead with that? Is he going to lead
No,
here and increase the size of
no,
your bank
no. What Dion has been proving to himself is to base his brand and to base it off of your own brand and building your own branding,
account?
and that's what he's excelled at. In addition to trying to build the fundamentals, he's been trying to build them as talent and not so much as men. So that's what he's been selling them on. That's what he's going to sell them on. And he'll get great players, great individuals, but he won't get those great team players. You see where I'm getting at?
Got you.
Hmm.
All right.
That's what he's going to need. And that's where, like I said, if you start getting those people in there that are the clubhouse cultivators, not the clubhouse cancers, then you'll be able to change the atmosphere and change the direction. But until then, no, 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 no. You might be doomed for another 4-11 season.
Let's go on record. When it's all said and done, what four teams are going to be the four teams that make it to the college playoffs?
The four that I thought that was going to be last week, and the same four this week,
Which are?
which were Michigan, Georgia, Florida State, Washington.
Hmm. Okay. Don't flame me for this one. Flame
All
me for
right.
this one. I think it's going to be Florida State, Oregon, Michigan, and Alabama.
Dear God. All right, all right, all right, all
How can a
right.
one-loss Alabama team who knocks off the number one team in the SEC championship game right? Assuming that this happens, who's got 52 votes out of the 62 in the AP top 25, you can't leave that one loss team out of the college football playoff. You can't do it.
King,
You can't do it.
King,
Come on now.
King. We're going to make history tonight, okay? Um, ladies and gentlemen, before we get zucked, I want to let you know that this scene right here has never been done, and I've also never gotten off of camera before, but I think I'm going to do this because this actually seems less painful and more productive of my time than listening to Alabama going into the college football championships. So I'm about to come off of camera, and I've got a regular hacksaw right in front of me, a saw that cuts through metal, and I am going to chop off my ding dong. And it's going to be less painful and more productive than listening to Alabama talk about the college football playoffs,
I'm just saying.
about the number 8 fucking team in the nation, jumping 4 freaking teams to get into the college football playoff. And the only explanation, no viable thought process beyond it, other than Roll Tide.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why people in Europe think America is full of idiots.
yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, roll tide is all you need, man. You say those 2 words and you can cure ailments out here, coach.
Yeah, you can't cure incest.
Susan said Georgia Tech will never have that problem. The Yellow Jackets will sting until they die. Shout out to you. Now, here at WTF Nation Radio, we stream live across multiple platforms almost every day of the week except for Saturday, like Coach said. But what you could do to help us out is hit that like button. So if you have not hit that like button on whatever platform that you are watching or listening to us on, do us a favor. Hit that like button real quick while we bring up the next topic. Now, you gave your 4, I gave my 4. We're going to come back and see what happens after this week's slate of games.
It's going to be interesting, man. I'm actually. Oh, and by the way, we were talking about these great rivalry games, and it nearly made me forget about the rivalry game. The game where if both teams were 1-9 or 0-10, and they played each other, and that one team won, their entire year would be set across every single sport. Quite possibly the greatest rivalry in college football. Something that has ties to us, too. Well, not you, but I do.
The Army Navy?
Oh, yeah!
Okay.
Oh, yeah!
Okay.
Speaking of that, that is this weekend, isn't it? Army Navy is this
See.
weekend?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the schedule.
I mean, we are bad. No, thank goodness it's December 9th.
Okay.
It won't be next. It will be the weekend after. So
Yeah, and
next weekend we got to preview the Army Navy game.
Yep, the Army Navy game that kicks off Saturday, December the 9th, going to be played at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I think I have to go Navy on that one, man.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh, is it because Army beat the Air Force? Oh, that's right.
That was a fluke of a game.
Army may have sucked, but they did beat Air Force.
Fluke of a freaking game, if you ask me. All right, let's get into NFL news and our WTF Nation fantasy football updates. And here we go. First of all, I'm playing against WTF Nation's own pop culture warrior. And I have to tell you, I'm not overly excited about where it's sitting at right now. He's sitting at 113 with Zach Flowers, who has scored the Ravens' only touchdown in this game. I'm at 101 with Keenan Allen, Jordan Addison left to play. And Keenan Allen, who's normally a target monster, only has 2 catches for 12 yards in this game. And ESPN's predictor right now has me only 53 to Pop Culture Warriors 47%. I need to get the win to keep CQ's record at 6-6 so that he does not make the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hold on. Is he's still in the playoff hunt, right?
He is still in the playoff hunt, which is ridiculous.
I don't know, man. You know, I think you'll pull it out. You still got the best record in the league tonight. I think that will happen, and if it does happen, we do need to talk about it because I will truly, across every single one of these daggone platforms, remind CQ that he will be 0-2 against both of us.
Yes. Yes, we need.
And I've got one of the worst. And by the way, I'm not bottom of the basement anymore, but I've got one of the worst teams out here. Everything went wrong for me from week one.
It did, man. It absolutely did. Now, going into the next matchup, Tim Hinkle's definitely going to pull this off. I mean, he had all of his players go off at the right time, while Kyle, who's pretty active in our chats, I mean, solid. The fact that Joe Mixon right here put up what he did, and I saw
Yep.
an article that pretty much clowned Joe Mixon, saying that he really didn't put up an effort in this game. There might be some dissension with the Bengals because look, winning cures everything. Losing makes people really show their true character. And when teams are losing, they're going to want to blame everybody else but themselves.
Yeah. But Mixon also lost his boy. You got to think about that. He's probably frustrated right now. And that's something that you got to get when you're dealing with somebody who that you played in college with and played his whole pro career with, and now they're gone. It's kind of the same way that Jacksonville was with Etienne when he was injured and daggone Trevor Lawrence sucked. Now they are both back together and they've been doing great. Now they've got the number one team in the AFC. Same thing happens with Cincy between Mixon and Burrow, college teammates, and then freaking, playing games together. And they got that cohesion together. It's probably just him voicing his frustration. I don't think it's going to be in dissension, but the Bengals are not going to be going into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it this year. And the outlook for 2023, but this is now, I think, isn't this Mixon's fourth year?
No, Mixon, I want to say,
or is he signed?
It's no, I want to say that this is his. I don't think it's his contract year.
Okay. So let's just assume that there is no contract year, so that'll be good on that. That being the case, I don't think there's going to be dissension, but I think there's going to be some frustration. Nobody's played up this year, and they're going to have a crap year. And at this point in time, the frustration might just hit the part of the give up point. It's kind of like the New York Jets. We should just give up for the rest of the season.
And you said that they played college together. I know that Burrows went to LSU because of the SEC, but Mixon was like, I want to say that.
I thought Burrows and Mixon played together somewhere.
Nope, they did not.
And where the hell did Burrows and Mixon like their chemistry came together? There was something where didn't Burrows play? I thought they drafted somebody that Burrows played for. I always thought it was Mixon.
Mm-mm.
Who the hell was it then?
I have no idea.
Who's the wide receiver on on Cincinnati? That's the one that they drafted that was teammates with Burrow.
Chase.
Yes, Jamar Chase. Fuck me. How did I get Mixon and Chase? How did I get Chase and Mixon mixed up? Fuck me.
They were definitely teammates at LSU at one point.
Yes, that's what mixed me up on that one. Okay, all right, screw it. But in the same sense, I will say that Mixon isn't. He's just frustrated, and I don't blame him right now.
The wave of Anika, who's been on auto, is coming to an end. Now she put up an impressive, or she's projected to put up an impressive 120, but WTF's own Mad Mike looking to put up a projected 140 in his matchups with Hawkinson and the Vikings defense going up against Chicago left to play. I think Matt Mike's gonna pull this off easily. It's gonna drop Danica to 7-5, but she's still in the playoff hunt with a strong team, barring any more injuries.
You
Like
know,
if she gets any more injuries, though, she might be screwed. For a team that's on auto, 7-4 is not bad.
for somebody who's on auto, I have a feeling that like Danica was like one of these like fake Indian or Bangladeshi accounts that like just shows up randomly on live streams, and said that she wanted in, and then all of a sudden she came in, didn't know what the hell she was doing. We switched her to auto, and then she's just like gone. That's exactly what she is.
All I know is this.
We got Annika's Manti-Te'o's girlfriend. She doesn't exist.
Hey, I might be paying myself because before I pay out anybody, you have to prove you are who you are. Because don't forget, in the WTF Nation Radio Fantasy Football Listener League, whoever wins is going to win either $50 if CQ makes. I'm sorry, if CQ makes the playoffs, or if he doesn't make the playoffs, he's going to bump up what I was going to pay out. So the total payout can be $100 if CQ does not make the playoffs. That's why we're trying to get CQ to not make the playoffs.
No, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't get into the playoffs because I don't want him paying you $50.
No, he's going to be adding to the pot. He's going to be adding to the pot. And
he's going to be added to the pot that you're going to win.
Yes.
So you're gonna keep your $50 and you're gonna take CQ's $50 for winning.
I get what
you said. You see how that goes?
Yes, I am. Hey, look, the two bottom teams played against each other this week, and y'all are probably going to put up the two bottom scores too. Why didn't you take
damn
Jones?
Because I have given up. This is the truth. This is me giving up. I have after week 1, I had no reason to fucking play anymore. How the fuck did I go through an entire season at this point, losing my quarterback 4 snaps into the fucking season?
Well, you can't be giving teams easy wins, man, because it matters. I'm gonna put your butt.
No, at this point, don't put me on auto. No, let them get the win because I'm doing what the New York Jets should be doing, and I'm tanking so that whoever gets the better seeds has a better chance to win against you than against everybody else.
That is not how this works.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm being the proper New York Jets. I'm doing what the New York Jets should be doing. I'm tanking. I'm tanking on purpose.
Radar had Kyron Williams, who just came back from his injury and showed the F out, putting up 38.4 fantasy points in a PPR league. And he had him on his bench staring at Gus Edwards, who has a total of 4 yards in the first half of that team. But it wouldn't have mattered. I think Josh Bick with Christian McCaffrey and the Jets defense actually having 12 total fantasy points is going to carry.
I don't know how the hell that Jets defense has been getting freaking fantasy points. I mean, I understand the takeaways, but we got to get into a place where, when you're giving up 32 fucking points for, against the daggone, Miami Dolphins, you shouldn't be putting up anything but, you shouldn't be putting up double-digit fantasy points.
Which they've done for more games than they have throughout this season.
I know. It's ridiculous. They've got this great defense, the shittiest offense, since your grandfather was, fornicating with your grandmother on a waterbed. That's how shitty this Jets offense is. And for crying out loud, this defense is putting up great fantasy numbers for a team that's 4-7. Fuck.
Josh, congratulations on your win.
God,
I need you knocking out Jacob Ford, who I think probably has the second or third best strongest team that could win, assuming that he makes it to the playoffs. And
And
then
Radar is definitely his team was best up today a
mhm,
bit.
but Ambassador Wilson, all right, CJ Stroud has been the number 1 or number 2
Yeah.
fantasy quarterback for the last, I think this will make the 4th week in a row where he's been top 3 in quarterback points scored,
Yep.
lighting up the scoreboard, man. And whoever drafted him, because people didn't draft him early, if you've got CJ Stroud, you likely have a playoff fantasy team that could do well in those later weeks in the NFL, as he's been just lighting it up on the scoreboard and giving hope
Oh
to
yeah.
that Texas team in real life.
Hey, a couple weeks ago after he went off for 400 something yards, I think I texted you, I sent in the message, CJ Stroud is the real deal.
You
And
did,
we
yep.
all agreed on it.
Mhm.
Man, he is beginning to really prove it. I see a better version of Cam Newton when he was in Carolina. I see
Mm.
a better version with CJ Stroud, and he's really impressed me with his play this year. Just feel, maybe the curse of the number 2 pick only happens with the New York Jets.
Now, do you most athletic you could have ever played in the NFL?
Oh no,
Same here.
no.
And I don't know if I ever would have wanted to. Take a look at this is Christian McCaffrey, and I'm going to assume his lady filming him and the bumps and bruises and scrapes that a all pro, all world NFL running back gets coming out of a football game. Take a look.
Cut has been here for how many months?
Week 3 of training camp.
Howard has been there, and the real joy. You guys, the blood stains. Like, this is just from the other night. Everywhere. Face, right? Oh my god.
Is that a blue stain?
Are you okay?
That's wild.
The hat. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be just fine. What is this?
Man,
Oh.
those bruises are insane.
He's like a damn pinball in the middle of the machine half the time during the games. I'm surprised he doesn't have like a freaking Samoan tribal tattoo, of bruises all up and down his arm. I swear to God, yeah. Christian McCaffrey gets hit every game. He gets hit a lot when you see him. I'm not trying to diminish anything that the other NFL players get. Christian McCaffrey is a prime example of this, but man, that's what happens. And then remember, you're doing this for 18 weeks at a minimum, not including playoffs or anything like that. Think about this, okay? And this is a direct correlation. All of those hits, all these QB hits and everything like that. Imagine the quarterback, about how many times he gets hits. About as many times with Christian McCaffrey, but McCaffrey's just running into him, and some people are stationary, some people are running, so equal forces. One person is usually stationary when the quarterback gets hit, and that's the quarterback, and he's getting the full-on force of that person. Imagine how many bumps somebody has, and that's why they're having all of these daggone roughing the passers and all these plays and rules that are protecting the quarterbacks, because they'd be bumped up like that.
I
And that's why you've got people now that are playing into their 40s. You got Brady playing that long of a league, and I hate to say this, that's the reason why they don't value running backs as much, is because you're going to be bumped and bruised like McCaffrey all the damn time as a running back, and and you're not as protected and don't have as many rules as these quarterbacks have.
Now, I took this video off of Instagram, and when I was looking into the comments section, there were several ex NFL players that were like, "Hey, this is one of the reasons why I just decided I can't do it anymore because I wanted to be able
Yep.
to, in my 30s, run around with my kids and keep up with my kids." There was somebody that said, "I played for 7 years and now I struggle to get out the bed, and I'm almost 40, and I had to move from a two-story house to a one-story home because it was difficult going up and down the steps." And I'm like, yo, that's insane. And the other thing that I'm gonna highlight this, right? So that's Christian McCaffrey's lady that had filmed it. That is Miss Universe 2012 and fashion influencer Olivia Culpo, who they've been together since 2019. They were engaged as of April of 2023. I don't think that there was a date to be set for it. She's like filming this and it's oh haha funny. Oh, there's blood. I got my man bruised up. Man, I would hate for them to get married. And then with the way that the divorce statistics are working out, they get divorced. She takes half of this man's shit, and this the half of the shit that she got was a result of the bumps and bruises that he accumulated while playing. I'm going to come back to this specific video, and I'm going to look the camera dead in the camera's lens and go, "Hey, Christian, was she worth it? Was it worth it? If it don't work out,
I don't
you
know.
lose half your shit."
I'm looking at some of these girls' pictures on here. I don't know. I may give up half of my shit. I might give up half of my shit just to let her fart in my face for crying out loud. Ooh, hey now.
Yep, Miss Universe 2012, Miss Rhode Island, I think is where she hails from. So, I don't know, man.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the stories of athletes, like there's the one that we covered from the NBA, Joe Smith. Joe Smith,
Joe Smith.
he's an idiot himself. He's an idiot himself. He has a history of cheating and making bad decisions with women, and that story has taken so many damn twists and turns. I'm just like, I give up with this dude. I give up. The last thing that we had to talk about, I don't even want to talk about. There was some drama between LSU's college women's team. But the more I look at what the drama is, I'm just like, you know what? I don't even want to cover it. It only lasted a day in the sports media news, and then nobody else cared after that. So I don't think we should either.
Yeah, I don't think we should either. Let's
But
have one. Let's have one. Let's have one show without us speaking about things like this.
yes. Now I am gonna say this just real quick though.
Oh
Eh,
god.
it involved the moms of the people, Angel Reese being a superstar and apparently having a less than 2.0 GPA. I'm just gonna stop it right there and leave it at that. All right, because
Okay.
she is a champion, and I will put some respect on her name because of that. All right.
All right.
Let's see. We got Mike O'Dowd in the building over on Facebook. Said Dick Buckus, Chicago Bears, at the end of his career, was a one-armed, one-legged bandit. Yes, he talks about the bumps and bruises that he accumulated as well, and those that do make it past their first contract, typically they don't come out of that stuff unscathed. I have a family member who I'm gonna try to get on the show. He played professionally, played with the Patriots when they went and had that magical season and then lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. I'll say his name, Mike Richardson. He played for the
Mhm.
Patriots, played for the Chiefs, and the Indianapolis Colts. I want to say did about 6 or 7 years total. But one of the things that I do recall him saying is that throughout his college days, where he played for the Fighting Irish and the three teams that he played for in about 7 years in the league, he was thankful to be able to walk away with his health. He played a lot on defense, wasn't necessarily like a starter or a household name, but he said that those guys move fast and they hit hard, And when he decided that he was done, playing in the league, he was more thankful to just still have his health from it. I will
Hmm.
never forget him saying that.
Hey, and you know what? There comes a time too in a lot of military careers where you got to think about things like that too. It's happened. It happens to a lot of different people.
Hmm.
Um, a lot more where medical shit. You want to be pulled up to that area where you're not all messed up from your service, and there is a time where that pride that you have of staying a soldier is probably the same amount of pride that person has of staying within the NFL. So think
Exactly.
of it in that sense.
Now, the last thing that we are going to talk about before we close up shop, have you heard of NBA player Josh Gidey?
Josh Bidet. No, I have not.
Josh
Good
Gidey.
day. Good
All
day.
right, so
Good
this
day,
guy,
matey. Good day. Good day,
good
mate.
day,
Yeah,
mate.
good day, mate.
And I am probably backing his name up 100% completely, but this is a guy who is in his third year in the NBA. He's like 20 or 21 from
Oh, wait,
Australia.
he's from Australia and his name's Good day.
Yes.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
sometimes the jokes write themselves, man, themselves.
Yeah,
But he's into
again,
some
somebody,
hot water
yeah,
recently.
the next guy from France is going to be named Bonjour. Stay away from the German. Stay away
Yeah.
from the German center, Zig Heil.
Josh Gidey has came into some hot water recently because on a now deleted tweet, is it still called a tweet on X?
Yeah, I think they're still called tweets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
still are. I call them
On a
tweets.
now on a now deleted tweet, somebody from an anonymous page posted Josh Gidey from the OKC Thunder with an underage girl. First video, he is talking to her brother. This is disgusting, and this man needs to be punished. We can't let this go under the surface any longer. This needs to be seen. And this person is making the claim that the person in the videos that Josh is with is a junior in high school. Now, this was about 3 days ago when it came out. It came out over Thanksgiving, and it took everybody by storm. Some of his teammates that had posted very high praise for Josh had since taken down their high praise of Josh literally in the same day that that stuff came out. And look, it could be I would say what's the motivation? What's the motivation if it's not true to do something like that? Could it be jealousy? Could it be revenge because he may have broken up with that girl? I don't know. But the NBA is investigating the rumors as they should, and Josh's coaches came out and said that, hey, look, he's a part of the team, he's playing, and that's all that I'm going to say at this time.
Uh,
Now, assuming that it may be true,
yeah. So, all right. Ooh, look, 22, 16, 6 years apart. In some senses, some people would say, "Oh, that's kind of weird," or a lot of people would say that's kind of weird. I kind of in that boat. Some may not have that issue. It might be a little bit better wherever the hell he's from. I don't know the mating habits of people from Australia. All I know is that something like this happened with baseball, and that dude is now completely off the face of the earth. You start getting into sexual situations with people that are underage, and you're persona non grata. So it doesn't surprise me that there has been this kind of outpouring of support for the people, for unfortunate, not outpouring of support, lack of support. To for this player against Mr. Cadet because yeah, you don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole and freaking you don't want to get caught up into supporting somebody who may be accused of that. Let the thing be unaccused and let him clear his name if it isn't true, and then you support him. But yeah, touching that with the 10-foot pole, definitely don't want to do that at all.
Now, there's been other people that have since came out in various different Twitter and other accusations saying that he's always done this. Now, my thing is this, I don't work in PR or I'm not like a fixer or
Yeah.
anything like that. That's not my
Oh,
world.
you're not
But
Ray
I would
Donovan,
say,
huh?
man, yeah, I am not Ray Donovan. I am not Olivia Pope or whatever. I would say that if this stuff is not true, why not just have the girl come out, with a redacted version of her driver's license, show that hey, I'm not underage, right? And that be the end of the story. I think you can nip this stuff in the bud if you don't have anything to hide. But then again, hey, I'm not him. I also wouldn't want to be having to fight off every single rumor of something that occurred to me. But the fact that he has since blacked out his Instagram, made it private, gotten off of social media completely. And you know what? That's another thing. Why is it that when the world's great and everything's good, I'm going to be posting and doing all of this stuff on Instagram and social media and everything, but then the moment something tragic happens, it's please respect my privacy at this time, and it's all that bullshit. I can't stand that.
Respecting the privacy over the fact that he got caught possibly doing something illegal and definitely doing something that not a lot of people have his back for. So, my sympathy meter right now, kind of doesn't go off to Mr. G'day. I kind of wish him the best of luck and hope this isn't true.
Same. And if it is, there was somebody, man, I can't think of who it is, but an NBA Hall of Fame player. I like the story's right here at the tip of my dome. Had the same accusations happen with him, and this person still made the NBA Hall of Fame. Do you know who it is that man I'm talking
No,
about?
unfortunately, I do not. Not off the top of my head, man. Um, it wasn't our.
Okay. I probably shouldn't Google it because I might have the FBI
I mean,
agent show
I
up at my
mean,
door.
R. Kelly, I thought only sang the song "I Believe I Could Fly." That was his only thing with the with the NBA. So, don't think Mr. Robert Kelly was had anything else to do with the NBA. So, yeah, that's about the only thing I can tell you, buddy. Sorry.
That this is true. Well, hey, coach, this has been another fun episode. I had a couple of other things to bring up here, but it would throw off the flow.
All
So we
good,
just gonna
brother.
close up shop right here, right now. I would like to thank everybody that has tuned in here to WTF Nation Radio and the Sports Bar. Coach and I will be back next Sunday. But in the meantime, check out the Monday edition tomorrow at 8 p.m. with Ice and whoever is going to be on with him. I forget who it
Yeah.
is.
Honestly, I can't remember. Dang on, we gotta get a better grip on the hosts. we got we really do.
All right, y'all. Until next time, Coach and I are out.
Peace.
Peace.